Please make it fucking stop. You gotta fucking help me. They put me in this fucking stupid little video. I don't even know what this is. I just want to see my fucking family again, please.
Good morning, Birkus Nation. What you're looking at now is part of a short haha funny video made by the channel Hobo Hobo, one which marked the first appearance of the channel mascot Hobo in video form. Hobo's a little blue dude, and if you know me, then you know I love little blue dudes. In March 2022, Hobo Hobo dropped the first installment of Hobo Funnie Show, an animated web series starring Hobo himself. The series, which currently consists of 4 episodes and is 13 minutes long in total, is an absolute banger. So much so that I decided to make a whole video talking about it. Here is that video. The show follows Hobo, a character created by the company Ramster, which is a parody of the ringtone mascot giant Jamster. The series starts in the middle of an episode of the fictional mid-2000s Hobo Funnie Show, where a generous hero is just minding his business until he catches his friend stealing someone's keys. He makes the mistake of forgiving his friend and is thrust into a life of eternal torture. What kind of torture, you may ask? The kind of torture where you, an unassuming sentient fictional character, get whisked through Ramster Corporation's various IPs and assets. These assets get progressively more primitive too. For example, in episode 2, Hobo finds himself inside Belbo Show, a TV show featuring a cowboy character that looks similar to Hobo. But by episode 4, Hobo is having barely conceived scrunklies thrown at him. Wacky antics ensue. Oh yeah, and there's also this recurring giant white figure. One thing I love about this show is just how polished it looks, and I don't mean polished in like an 8K super ultra mondo HD kind of way. I mean like it looks exactly like something straight out of 2000's 3D animation. From the simplistic 3D models to the 4:3 aspect ratio, even the ringtone commercial could easily be mistaken for something from the Jamster era. Of course, the visual highlight here is all the distortion and data moshing that occurs whenever Hobo is being sent to yet another world, which really has to be seen and heard and not talked about to truly be appreciated. These aspects, which one could call a form of existential horror, are balanced to help the comedy of the show, which is just great. Episodes 2 and 3 in particular are masterclasses of comedy, with excellent comedic timing and line delivery. It's really commendable that this is all put together by one person, although their impressive track record makes it a bit more believable. It's unfortunate that Hobo Funnie Show hasn't quite blown up to the level of their other work yet, although I guess that's expected when it's based on existing properties, e-celebs, and online meme trends. Anyways, going back to the horror aspect of the show, that giant white figure I was talking about earlier. Yes, there's somehow a point to all these silly Hobo shenanigans. It's all but confirmed that Hobo's cycle of torture is due to him forgiving his friend for stealing, and a likely explanation for this is that the corporate fat cats over at Ramster deemed it unsuitable for TV audiences to view the child-friendly Hobo doing something so nuanced. This theme of censorship would make sense for a hugely talented yet staunchly independent animator like Hobo Hobo to add to their art. Hobo Hobo's portfolio also links into another of the show's themes, that being modern internet/meme culture. I won't spend too long on this because I don't want to sound all pretentious, because I'm like the opposite of that, but here's a neat comment from one Salutations YT about a certain character from episode 3. This theme is mostly present in episode 4, with characters that are clear references to Hamoud Habibi, one of the most popular recent memes to spawn from an obscure 2000s animation, as well as Emoji Guy and FreeSmiley.de, 2 sets of 3D modelled emojis from the 2000s that have been repurposed in many memes in recent years. The latter characters notably speak purely in the popular top text bottom text meme format. I've seen people call the show a critique of modern internet humour and memes, but I personally don't have the brain capacity to be able to see it. The most overarching theme, however, is the subtle one of AI. It's not mentioned directly other than in the in-universe Hobo Funnie Show credits at the end of episodes 1, 2, and 4, and in a brief real-world vision in episode 4, but it seems to be the key to explain the show's big mysteries. In contrast to the other characters, Hobo seems to be as sentient as you or I, and acts much like any human would if they were being tortured. This is likely because Hobo is the main character of the Hobo Funnie Show, and is notable enough to warrant an actual statue in the Ramster workplace. He's even depicted in the AI implementation whiteboard in episode 4. However, what seems to be the biggest mystery as of right now is this scene where Hobo recalls a memory in the form of another real-world vision, this one being a photo of a human family. Maybe these memories are his, maybe they aren't, maybe Hobo's following the exact same arc as Ryan Reynolds' Free Guy. I don't know how to feel about that. Okay, this segment will contain spoilers for the end of episode 4. I know this video was advertised as an introduction to the show, but shut up. Like I said before, the show is literally 13 minutes long. It is shorter than some of my own individual videos, so go watch it right now. I promise it's better to experience the ending on your own. Okay, let's proceed. So it seems possible that episode 4 may be the final installment of Hobo Funnie Show, given that it ends right back at the original ringtone video I spoke about way back when, and that the video description diverts from the other episodes by adding a "this was the last one they found" in front of it. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't really like this as a final ending. It's like if Better Call Saul ended with Walter White walking into Saul's office and saying, "I am Breaking Bad." Like, yeah, it's a neat little full circle thing, but there's surely gotta be more story to be told here. The latter part is why I doubt this will be the last we'll see of Hobo, especially with all the unsolved mysteries lingering around. There's the AI memories thing I mentioned earlier, well, the AI stuff in general really, and there's also this whiteboard scene that the AI implementation guide is from. Some people think there may be a YouTube link there, a lot of people seem to think there's some ARG involved. People have been shouting ARG, ARG since episode 1 drops, and honestly, I have a slight suspicion that the impossible to read blurry text is just there to mess with the people who see data moshing and instantly think it's material for top 10 ARGs that scared the poo and pee out of the internet. But then again, I may be completely wrong. Regardless of whether there's some hidden game in the show or not, and regardless of whether or not it truly ends here, Hobo Funnie Show is still a neat, underrated little series in this website that you should all check out, although I guess you've all done that already if you're at this point in the video. Go recommend it to friends instead. I've sent it to like 4 of them, 4 of my own friends prior to making this video, and they enjoyed it, and whatever Hobo Hobo ends up doing next, I imagine will be worth looking at for 2. Anyways, I believe I've covered everything I wanted to, and I don't think I've missed anything major, so good night, Birkus Nation.